we have another lie going on about that you need minerals and vitamins from external foods. This is not true. I work with a guy who passed away, Brian Jenner, who's a very, very brilliant healer. And Brian Jenner had proven that the body is an alchemical alembic, that you eat for reasons, but do not imagine in your mind this other mind control lie that you're getting your minerals and your vitamins from the food. You're not. Your body is a genetic masterpiece. It's an alembic that knows how to create from even just a glass of water all that is needed if you're mentally aware of it. So just from sunlight, like you're saying, from breath, if a person is completely in tune with this and understands its principles, they can through their light body, generate all the vitamins and minerals that are needed. It is a complete and utter, worldwide misnomer to imagine that food gives you the vitamins and minerals. It's a misthink, and it's been conditioned to us. Well, of course, the government and the people in power want us to believe that. They want us to believe that if you're depressed or you're schizoid or you're manic depressive or whatever, then you go and take a pharmaceutical pill and everything will be perfectly fine. If you have a disease, you rub some ointment on you and everything will be fine. The whole idea being that everything that constitutes a disease or a virus is coming from the outside world. They never want to tell you, no, it's coming from within you. It's your thinking that is bringing this disease condition about.
Your thinking or your diet or,
Right, but even your diet is still based on your thinking process, because you're only attracted to eating the wrong foods if your thinking is off in some way, or your emotional body is down, or your immune system is down. But the greatest scientists in the world, like the Bruce Liptons of the world, know that your immunity, your immune system, and your DNA, and all of it, your organs and your glands, are primarily affected by thought, by thinking, by temperament, by mood, and all of these kinds of things. Then when you're in the wrong mood, and your immune system's, completely bucketed out, it's only working at, say, 10 or 15% of power, well, then, of course, you're going to be running to the soul food and to the fizzy drinks and to the cigarettes, you see, and the alcohol, because now your body is dependent on getting it from an outside source. But if we were living in a pure shamanic tradition, with people who knew how to educate us into the right methods of healing, just like I was telling you about these exercise machines, we would have our immune systems working about 95%. We would be so sustainable that we would just be able to eat a couple of mangoes, drink some pure alkaline water, and pretty much that would be the end of it. You wouldn't even have to eat more than a couple of slices of lettuce, for God's sake. Because the idea is that you're getting your drishti, you're getting your life force, your libido, your prana, from the subtle energies that the plants contain. But my God, if a piece of lettuce contains vitamin and minerals, doesn't the human body also contain it?
Exactly.
I mean, what is the lunacy here that you have to eat a steak? You can tell me that a piece of dead gammon steak and not the human body contains the vitamins and the minerals, and you expect me to believe this. And everybody is mind-controlled into believing that. My God, you can tell me that a grain of rice has vitamins and minerals in it because somebody in a white coat told you that. But your body, which is not even plugged into a wall, which has created its own size, which grows every year, which discards millions of cells, whose eyes beat and heart pumps without you even having to ask it. The blood increased as you grew. This incredible miracle, all of the miracles of it, and your body doesn't have its own vitamins and minerals in it. My goodness, what a pack of lies we have been told. There's so much that we need to understand. The Paracelsus, Pythagoras, you see, in the East and Tibet, they taught this to the Buddhists and to the yogis who know all about this. And the Western world has been kept in a complete dumbed-down state. And there's many, many levels to this. I mean, we're talking now about the healing arts, but my God, on society, the way cities are designed, the way children are born. A young child, a baby has just been born, is pulled from the dark recesses of its mother's womb into an incredibly fluorescently lit place with a bunch of sadistic people dressed in white who are going to now slap it on its ass as soon as it's born. And the message to the child is, you're being slapped because you've done something wrong by being born.
You're being delivered.
You're being delivered. And the slap is punitive. The slap is to say, as if the child has done something wrong by being born. That's the subliminal message that the child gets from youth. So the youth is walking around saying, what's wrong? I'm not being welcomed into the world. I was slapped into the world. Therefore, I get the idea that my act of birth was a wrong thing.
Wow.
And then you're hung upside down. This is all connected to the tarot cards and the hangman. And a lot of symbolism.
Oh, man, you're so right on that. I never even thought of it that way. Oh, wow.
Think of it. And you know what it does? When they hang you upside down like that, it screws up your melatonin. It's done for reasons.
Oh man, I'm sorry, I'm just getting mind blown right here. It's just
amazing, isn't it?
It makes so much sense too. That's
no wonder the kids are crying. Your melatonin and your serotonin, which is in the pineal gland, and I think it's the pituitary. I can't remember it right now, but I think it's the one between your eyes anyway, which I think is the pituitary, which secretes the melatonin. Melatonin has been scientifically understood to be the hormone that rules the person's sense of independence and rebellion. Now let me repeat that. Melatonin and serotonin are known scientifically to represent the human drive for independence and rebellion. And serotonin, melatonin is sensitive to light. Melatonin, and especially melatonin, is light sensitive. That is the reason, my friend, why you are put under 18 years under the fluorescent lights in a school. That is the reason why you're born into a blazing white hospital. That is the reason why you're hung upside down. That is the reason why police will use the light on you in the old interrogative ways that they used to do, and even now, when they pull you over in the car, the guy's got the headlights on. Hey, but that's not good enough. He's got to put the whole damn spotlight in your face, and then when he comes with his flashlight, he's got to put that in your face. Now, why would they want to do that?
That's man.
And I'll tell you why. It's because from the time of birth, our melatonin reading, each person's melatonin river, it's a river. Hormones are like a river of life. I think there's 13 hormones in the body or something like that. I may be wrong. But if anybody is aware of this, please, email me and tell me this, because I know that the hormones are the most interesting thing. They're highly spiritual. And these are like rivers of life. Now, when you're born, your melatonin river is out. It's like a tide that's gone out. It's so assaulted that it freezes, and your melatonin is not flowing properly. Far from it. You may only be working at, say, 15%. So this makes you susceptible to all kinds of control. Now, those people who are the rebels in the world, people like yourself, people who go against the grain, people who cannot take rules from anyone, people who can't work for others, they like being their own boss, it's possible that their parents brought them up in a different, or some variable or some factor happened in which their melatonin wasn't as malice affected, and therefore they grow up with a higher sense of independence. But the most of the world who go through the traditional ways, the circumcision and all of this stuff, and who work in these gigantic buildings.
I was just going to mention circumcision too. I was just going to mention that, because circumcision, I mean, that's just got to be so traumatic on a child. It's yeah. That's amazing analogy, though. I mean, with the light, that I've never even came close to thinking of anything on those means until now. So.
Right. Well, now that you know this, now observe why it is that the lights are left on in the cities all over the world.
I am
especially
just
in America.
Awestruck.
People have left work at 5 o'clock. By 7 o'clock, even the cleaning is done. Then you tell me why it is that from 9 o'clock till the following morning, the lights are on in all the tower blocks. I'll tell you why. It has to do with subliminal control of the human race. The very fact that the buildings are even skyscrapers in which the car goes underneath the car park, and you come out and underneath the car park and you ascend up in an elevator to your office, is all based on the phallic symbolism of ancient times and the obelisk of being inside a building that has glass on the outside, with the idea that you can't see in, but we can see out. Well, that's a suit of armor. That these are the new suits of armor that we go and work inside every day. That, this whole idea of the private space, that we can see you, but you can't see us. And we go inside in the same way that the sperm goes into the, under the testicles, and then rises up through the elevator to the place of work, to the office, in the firm, the F-I-R-M, the firm, which comes from the word herm, or Hermes, or hermetic, all which has phallic masculine connotations, because everybody wants to be part of the big penis. Everybody wants to feel that they're the great knight in shining armor. There's been a subliminal thing done on us even in the designs of cities. Then the lights are left on. Then we're sitting under the fluorescent lights in the school. There's no ambient lighting, because they don't want shadows in your life. They don't want you to have rest. Now, knowing this, turn on the television and watch the commercials, how much light they're throwing at you every 5 seconds. Look how much light is used in commercials, and look at the way that light is done. I taught this subject for 2 years in Berkeley, California, to a group of kids at the New Age Academy. This is a private school for children where the teachers are trying to teach them this kind of stuff, and they hired me as a communications teacher. So I would bring them videos and videos and videos. I've got hours and hours and hours and hours of commercials, and we would look at them in a totally different way. Excuse me, I don't want you to turn your TV off. I want you to turn it on. I don't want you to be a cynic of your society. I want you to be a critic of it. Now I want you to study study what it is that they're doing on you and empower yourself so then you have the right filters to keep the rubbish out. Turning the TV off isn't going to help. Find out how the power is being used on you. And you know something? You've never seen kids change so fast to become incredible, shining examples of human beings because somebody told them, hey, you're not broken, it's the world that's broken. Let me show you how. In fact, I know you know it's broken. You tell me how it's done. Well, kids are only too happy to tell you what's wrong with the world if you're willing to listen.
Exactly.
And that's what we did.
Kids are the most honest of beings, that's for sure.
Aren't they? And they are fully aware of what's wrong. It's just nobody's bothered asking them.
Yeah, well,
you know,
definitely pay attention.
You know what I was telling these kids? It's like, hey, do you know that you are not broken? But it's your parents and the system that is broken? It was almost like somebody had taken a weight of all of these kids' shoulders that very moment. Just in telling them that, it was almost like some entity has just departed from the building, like an exorcism had taken place. Because nobody has even told most of the children of the earth that simple fact. And then we wonder why they're delinquent, murderous, criminal, sitting in their rooms depressed. I'll tell you why. It's very simple. They're in a world of lies.
Yeah, they're in a world of control.
They're a world of control and lies. That's right.